This update deserves your full, undivided attention. We are now in February 2026, and the cost of living hasn't exactly made things easy for those of us on a fixed income. But I have some news that I want you to hear clearly. The old fear of working a few extra shifts and losing your pension is officially dead. Listen, I want to be very clear about this. For years, many of you have been terrified that if you picked up a bit of retail work, did some consulting, or helped out with a seasonal harvest, Centrelink would jump in and slash your payments. In the past, that was a very real risk. But as we move through 2026, the rules have shifted from temporary band-aid fixes to a permanent high-authority system designed to keep money in your pocket, not the government's. This is not about alarm. It's about being informed. The work bonus is no longer just a trial. It is now a permanent pillar of the age pension. Whether you're a new recipient just starting out, or you've been on the pension for a decade, you now have access to a tax-free bucket of income that can reach as high as $11,800. In this masterclass, we're going to break down the magic math of 2026. We'll look at the specific dollar amounts you can earn before your pension drops by even 1 cent, how the new permanent $4,000 starting credit works, and a critical 6-month safety net that protects your Pensioner Concession Card even if you decide to go back to work full-time for a while. This is about financial freedom and making sure that if you choose to work, it benefits you, not just the tax office. So, let's look at the blueprint of the 2026 work bonus and how it's going to change your budget this year. Now, let's get into the gears of how this actually works. In February 2006, the work bonus isn't just one rule, it's a combination of 3 distinct pillars that work together to protect your pension. Well, look, I want to be very clear. You don't actually have to apply for the work bonus. If you are over age pension age and you report employment income, the system is designed to apply these calculations automatically. Here are the 3 pillars of your 2026 blueprint. 1. The $300 fortnightly concession. This is your first line of defense. Every single fortnight, Centrelink automatically ignores the first $300 of your gross earnings. If you earn exactly $300, your assessable income for the pension test is 0. 2. The $4,000 head start. Since January 2024, the government made a massive change permanent. Every new pensioner now starts their journey with a $4,000 credit already sitting in their work bonus bank. Even if you've been on the pension for years, you've likely already had this $4,000 added to your balance. 3. The $11,800 maximum cap. This is the size of your tax-free bucket. In the old days, this cap was much lower, but in 2026, you can grow your bank all the way up to $11,800. Well, how does that bank actually grow? This is the clever part. If you don't work, or if you earn less than $300 in a fortnight, the leftover amount of that $300 concession is credited to your bank. For example, if you don't work at all this fortnight, $300 is added to your work bonus bank. If you do this for a year without working, you'll have thousands of dollars in credit ready to use whenever you decide to pick up some shifts. Now, a very important protective warning for couples. The work bonus is an individual superpower. It is not shared. If you are working but your partner isn't, you cannot give your unused work bonus to them. You each have your own $11,800 bucket. This is about being informed, so you can plan your year. If you know you have a big expense coming up in June, you can let that bank grow now and then use those credits to work heavily for a few weeks without losing a single dollar of your pension. Now, I want to show you exactly how this looks in your bank account, because in 2026, the numbers are more generous than most people realize. To understand your true earning power, we have to look at how the work bonus stacks on top of the standard income-free area. Well, look, I want to be very clear. Every pensioner has an income-free area. This is the amount you can earn from any source, like bank interest or a small pension from overseas, before your Australian pension is touched. In early 2006, for a single person, that amount is $218 per fortnight. For a couple combined, it's $380. But here is where the magic math happens for those of you who work. Because the work bonus gives you an extra $300 buffer on top of that. If you are a single pensioner in 22-6, you have your $300 work bonus buffer. You have your $218 income-free area. That means you can earn $518 every single fortnight from employment, and your pension payment will remain at the maximum rate. That is over $13,000 a year in extra income without losing a cent of your pension. Now, what if you have a work bonus bank saved up? This is where it gets really exciting. Let's look at a case study. We'll call her Margaret. Margaret is 68, she's been retired for a few years, and she hasn't worked at all. By February 2026, she has built up the maximum work bonus balance of $11,800. Margaret decides to help out a local business during their peak season and earns $4,000 in a single month. Under the old rules, that $4,000 would have wiped out her pension for that month entirely. But in 2026, Centrelink looks at her earnings, sees she has $11,800 in her bucket, and simply subtracts the $4,000 from her balance. Her assessable income for the fortnight? Zero. Margaret gets her $4,000 from work, and she gets her full pension payment on top of it. But, and this is a critical protective warning, you must ensure the income is work bonus eligible. In 2026, this means active participation. If you're a bookkeeper, a consultant, or a gardener, you're covered. But if that $4,000 came from rental income or dividends from shares, the work bonus cannot be used. Those are considered passive and will reduce your pension once you go over the $218 limit. This is about using the system the way it was intended, to reward your effort and experience. Now, I need to share a warning that is absolutely vital for your peace of mind in 2026. One of the biggest fears I hear from pensioners is, what if I earn so much that my pension stops? Will I lose everything and have to reapply from scratch? Well, look, I want to be very clear. This is not about alarm, it's about being informed. In 22-6, there is a powerful safety net called the Employment Income Nil Rate Period. If you take on a high-paying short-term contract or a busy seasonal role that pushes your income so high that your pension payment drops to $0, you are not kicked out of the system. Instead, Centrelink keeps your file active for up to 12 consecutive fortnights, that is essentially 6 months. During this 6-month window, 1. You do not need to reapply. If the work ends or your hours drop, your pension payments will automatically start up again as soon as your income falls back below the limit. 2. You keep your Pensioner Concession Card. This is the high authority rule that saves people thousands. Even if your pension payment is $0, you retain your card and all the associated discounts on medicines, rates, and utilities for that entire 6-month period. Now, there is a catch. To keep this safety net active, you must continue to report your income every fortnight, even if your payment is $0. If you stop reporting, the system will assume you've moved on, and they will cancel your payment. And a quick word on the reporting trap for 22-6. While many employers now use single-touch payroll, which pre-fills your data into MyGov, it is your responsibility to check those numbers. If your employer makes a mistake and you just click submit, you could end up with a debt. Always verify the gross amount, that's the total before tax, against your actual payslip. My masterclass advice? Don't be afraid to take on that big project or the extra shifts. As long as you keep reporting, the 2026 rules are designed to catch you if the work disappears. You have 6 months of pensioner status guaranteed, giving you the best of both worlds, a higher income today and a secure pension for tomorrow. As we move through 2026, the key to winning with the work bonus is not just about if you work, but when and how you manage your reporting. Look, I want to be very clear. One of the biggest mistakes I see seniors make is not knowing where they stand before they say yes to an extra shift. In 22-6, finding your balance is easier than ever. If you use the Express Plus Centrelink app or your MyGov account, you can see your work bonus balance updated in real time. My masterclass advice is to check this balance at the start of every month. Treat it like a second savings account, one that only grows when you aren't working. This leads us to what I call the burst work strategy. If you have a specific goal, maybe a 2027 trip or a new car, The most efficient way to earn in 2026 is to work in bursts. By letting your balance grow toward that $11,800 cap, you can then take on a high-paying role for 3 or 4 months and potentially keep your entire pension the whole time. If you work a little bit every single week, you might never see that bank reach its full potential. Now, we have to talk about the tax man. In 2026, the Seniors and Pensioners Tax Offset, SAPTO, remains a powerful tool. For a single senior, SAPTO, combined with the low-income tax offset, means you can often earn up to roughly $33,000 to $35,000 total income, including your taxable pension and your wages, before you actually have to pay a cent in income tax. But here is the protective warning. While the work bonus protects your pension, it does not hide your income from the ATO. If you earn $10,000 from work, Centrelink might ignore it for your pension, but the tax office still sees it as taxable income. Finally, a quick technical tip for 22/6 reporting. If your employer uses single-touch payroll, your earnings will often be pre-filled in your reporting task. Well, look, do not just click confirm blindly. Always check the gross pay amount on your actual payslip against what Centrelink shows. If there's a mismatch, you must fix it then and there. Accurate reporting today is the only way to prevent a debt letter tomorrow. We've covered a lot today, but I want to leave you with a clear roadmap for your 2026 work plans. Well, look, I want to be very clear. The permanent changes to the work bonus are some of the most positive shifts we've seen for Australian seniors in years. By making the $11,800 cap and the $4,000 starting credit permanent features, the government has finally acknowledged that many of you want to stay active and involved without the constant fear of a Centrelink penalty. Let's quickly recap the Centrelink Masterclass Essentials for 22/6, the $518 buffer. Remember, as a single pensioner, you can earn up to $518 every single fortnight from work before your pension is touched. That's your $300 work bonus combined with the $218 income-free area. The bank is your friend. Let that work bonus balance grow when you aren't working. It is your tax-free bucket for when those high-paying short-term opportunities come along. The safety net. Don't fear the nil rate period. If you earn enough to zero out your pension, you have up to 2 years of suspension available with a 12-fortnight initial window where you keep your Pensioner Concession Card and your file remains active. Active versus passive. Always remember that the work bonus is for work. Wages and consulting are in. Rent and dividends are out. Now, looking ahead, we have a major date coming up. On March 20th, 2026, we are expecting the first pension indexation of the year. Early indicators suggest a significant boost to help with those persistent grocery and energy costs. I will be right here with a full breakdown of the new dollar amounts the moment they are released. This is about making the system work for you, not the other way around. You've worked hard your whole life, and in 2006 you deserve to enjoy the fruits of that labor, whether that's through a quiet retirement or a bit of extra work to fund your next adventure. If you found this session helpful, please hit that subscribe button and join the Centrelink Masterclass community. We are here to protect your income and keep you one step ahead of the regulations.